Hello everyone! Today, let's move on to a new topic, the relationship between the gods and the humans. That is, after the creation, how do they look at and treat each other? When it comes to the creation deities of the world, especially the land of Huaxia people, Chinese people never have any doubts in their reverence to them. Creation heroes such as Pangu and Nuwa and their supreme honor and accomplishments have never been questioned whatsoever in any artistic or literary adaptation. Chinese people respect and feel grateful to them as much as love them. In the creation mythology of other minority groups, such as Pumi, Yao, Jinpo, and Zhuang, the gods are believed to be so close to the humans that some of them have an inseparable relationship with the created. They are the creators and the protectors, and their lives are mingled and fused with the humans. In fact, this God-human relationship is derived from the traditional cosmology in Chinese society. The world has been viewed as a complicated and complete organism, and everything in it behaved in a particular ways. There has been a certain mechanism that is consistent since the beginning and makes sure the universe is a whole. This idea of wholeness or oneness resulted in the mutual embrace between the mythological figures and the mortals. The apparent ruler and ruled relationship between the Chinese gods and the humans, when understood in a Chinese way, involves more coordinative and harmonious factors. This hierarchy is more properly interpreted as a reflection and practice of Yang and Yin in its natural subordination to Yang, to be exact. What is interesting is, although there is a hierarchy between the heaven and earth, gods and humans, immortals and mortals, the Yin and Yang cosmology places them on an equal footing and stresses the alternation between them, and hence the seeking of harmonious balance between the two. In fact, there are stories about the concept of transformation between the gods and the mortals, which means there is no insurmountable gap between them. In Chinese mythology, humans can transform to be deities after assiduous self-discipline and exercise of the magic skills. In the investiture of the gods, Feng Shen Yan Yi, almost all the heroes of Zhou and some of their fallen enemies from Shang are endowed with heavenly rankings and eventually elevated to their roles as gods. In Taoist mythology, Lao Tzu is one of the founders of philosophical Taoism, and he's also the incarnation of Supreme Old Lord, Taishan Laojun, one of the major deities of religious Taoism. Lao Tzu is worshipped as a god, and San as a personification of the Tao. In Confucianism, although never claimed to be divine, Confucius has always been respected and worshipped for his preeminent wisdom and his assiduous self-discipline, which makes him a godlike sage. These influential figures from various sources in Chinese mythology are all initially humans. Their route to the altar, either out of their own will or not, was out of individual efforts and hardships. In Greek mythology, we don't see close relationship between gods and humans. Ancient Greeks created their gods not just in their own human images, but in their own characters. That is, Greek gods have many qualities of human characters, good or bad. Greek gods show irrational behaviors from time to time and are in constant fight among themselves, oftentimes out of jealousy of each other. Greeks didn't devise any standard of morals like Judaic 10 Commandments. Instead, they left their gods very similar to the humans. That is, they are flawed. There is a striking story about how Zeus sees female humans function to his rule, to use them as a means of punishing humankind. In Hesiod's Works and Days, Zeus gets angry with man's trick of offering sacrifice of ox bones wrapped by fat. Zeus took fire away from the mortals, but Prometheus stole fire from him and gave it back to humans. Zeus retaliated against man for the theft of fire by ordering women to be created to punish men. You see, in Greek myths, woman was not like Eve in Christian Genesis to be made as helper and comfort of man, but is an evil for mortals. To make things worse, Zeus ordered that if a man should escape marriage, he will have no children to look after him in his old age or to inherit his property. And a man who gets an evil wife has unending sorrow. Zeus gave all this punishment to mortals just to prove that it is not possible to deceive or evade the mind of Zeus. With Prometheus as an exception and Zeus as an representative, gods in Greek myths are not concerned with the mortals' welfare. They choose to stand on the opposite side of the humans. The deities and gods in Western mythology are often the essential existence prior to the time. In Greek mythology, the deities and gods inherit their divinity naturally. There's no possibility of human transforming into heavenly gods from their personal efforts. The gap between the heavenly realm and the earthly kingdom can't be bridged. Review. Question. What are the main features of relationship between gods and humans in Chinese and Greek mythologies? Chinese mythology has upheld the idea of harmony in the god-human relationship, as it is in line with the traditional Chinese cosmology of oneness. In Chinese mythology, humans can transform to be deities after ascetia's self-discipline and exercise of the magic skills. Great gods have kept the flaws of humanity in many ways. In many cases, gods and deities, when dealing with humans, only care about proving their power and honor. Hence, having a contending relationship between the humans and standing on the opposite side of them. There's no possibility of human transforming into heavenly gods from their personal efforts.